All right, happy Saturday afternoon, everybody. A quite momentous Saturday afternoon here in Raiderland, and you are on Raiderland Rewind, presented by Live Life Well Clinic of Lubbock and Dr. Jone Stadium, a great Red Raider in his own right, coming to you from the Hat Creek Interior Studios. We are looking forward to visiting with you about Texas Tech's 29-7 win over BYU. Everything that was involved in the game, top to bottom. We want to get your thoughts, your comments. We'll give you our thoughts, and then we'll be off and rolling tonight. But yeah, here's to you, Lubbock, Texas, and Texas Tech, putting on a great show all week, a great show for ESPN Game Day, and then a great show for the nation to see Texas Tech and Lubbock in its best light, and you win, and you dominate. And it was impressive. And we're here to talk about it, all right? So let's do it. Get in on the United Supermarkets chat line. If you ran out of all the stuff at your tailgate party today, you can hit United on the way home tonight and get ready for some NFL football tomorrow. In 3, in 2. Good evening and afternoon, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, the website. We hit you with multiple platforms. We're glad you're joining us tonight. Whether you're on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, we want 700 subscribers by the end of the night. You can make that happen by hitting like and share. Facebook Live, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, same deal. And then our good friends on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media, wherever you're joining us tonight. You're seeing us in the Hat Creek Interior Studios, where they keep the styles of the West alive right here in Lubbock. Not the best between like Dallas and Denver, the best from coast to coast. Check out what Corey Flanagan has put together in the showroom there. 10101 South Slide Road. You don't have to own a ranch to live like it, man, but they've got just amazing customer service. We're so glad that they are a part of Raiderland. Hatcreek.us, they ship anywhere, no matter where you live. Check it out. And if you can, go to their Facebook page and tell them thanks for being a part of Raiderland. We talk about the power of 5. 5 people every day, every night who enjoy what we do. If you go to our great sponsors, like Hat Creek Interiors, and tell them thanks, they get the message. Also, of course, Live Life Well Clinic of Lubbock. Dr. Jone Stadium, former Red Raider football player. Hey, you walk on me, he's good. They wanted to put together a comprehensive wellness clinic that starts, mind, heart, body, soul, everything about that. Sorry, I got something on my contact, so we'll get that figured out as we go through. Guys, we get older and, what maybe used to work isn't working. We're gaining weight. We're doing stuff. We can't figure it out. They're here to help. They want you actually to be healthy before you get unhealthy. So check out their Facebook page and their website. They do in-person and telemedicine. So if you're not like right around Lubbock, that's cool. But check out the Live Life Well Clinic, great sponsors and presenters of Raiderland Rewind. And then I would be remiss if I didn't show you again another great Pearl Snap shirt we're wearing today. Check this out. I can't show you the back, but it's got Reckham on the back. This thing is so comfortable. Snaps Clothing, snapsclothing.com. Rugged Pearl Snap shirt, light, going white today, just like the Red Raiders. And I don't even wear white all that often. I really don't. I'm trying to figure out what's on the contact there. But check them out. They've got a great tailgate collection that Texas Tech is a part of. Long sleeve, short sleeve. You can wear it to work on Friday, wear it to the game on Saturday. Check them out, Snaps Clothing. I want to thank them for the cool shirts we got to wear this week. And I was thinking about giving one away, and now I ain't going to do it, I've decided. I'm keeping the shirts. Snaps Clothing, Greg, if you're watching, you're going to have to send me some more. All right, I'll give you my thoughts. We'll get into your comments. I want you to share this, invite people in. The more, the merrier, right? Texas Tech defense defines the day. I don't know what else to say about them. It's the best defense I've watched at Tech in my professional career, dating back to 1989. First year as an accredited member of the media. Yes, I was a student at Texas Tech. They're just that good. Jacob Rodriguez, just like Joey McGuire said, the only reason he's not a Heisman Trophy candidate is because a lot of people who vote for the award and people just don't watch football. Don't know what to say. Most impactful players since Zach Thomas for sure, and I would rank what he's doing up there with Gabe Rivera. And Gabe Rivera did it on some really good defenses that had really bad offenses, so it just never translated to anything in the wins. He's that good. He's in that deal. Is it the most important win in the last 50 years? Yes, because of everything it sets up. It's more important than the Texas win in 08, more important than any win in the 80s, and it is more important than if you had even won against Houston in 1976. That's how important this game was. Is it the greatest victory? Top 10 team ranked ahead of you? You damn near shut them out. If it ain't number one, it's got to be in the top 5 all time. All time wins, Texas Tech. That's what we're talking about today. And look at the stage you did it on. Stone Cold Harrington, baby. Keep kicking. Don't look back. Had to bail out the offense a little bit, red zone and otherwise. No problem. You got to have a kicker, and he did it on the biggest stage you could have, unless he'd been kicking pregame there on game day, and the Tech kid today missed the first one, nailed the second one. Good job, guy. Morton on one leg. According to Holly Rowe, he's playing on a hairline fracture of the tibia. He looks like it. It's obvious he's uncomfortable. And you're playing with fire now with Will Hammond, but you have maybe the best third-string quarterback in all the Power 5 with Mitch Griffiths, who has great experience. We'll discuss that as we go through. And you're 2 wins away from the college football playoff. I assert today that you get the next 2 wins, win or lose in the Big 12 title game, you're in the playoff. It could be playing for a top 4 seed at this point. Let's get it going on the United Supermarkets chat line. Those are my quick thoughts. We'll get your questions, comments, everything else in as we roll through today here in the Hatton Creek Interior Studios on the Live Life Well Clinic Raiderland Rewind following Texas Tech's 29-7 win. Jeff going to get it going on the United Supermarkets chat line on our YouTube channel. 700 subs tonight. You guys make it happen. O-line has gone from marginal to just plain bad. I don't think they were bad today. They weren't great, but you still ran it really well. Pass blocking, those were coverage sacks, in my opinion. And Baron Morton didn't help himself out, particularly in the first half. Get rid of the football. You've got to get rid of the football. You can't take those sacks. You're experienced, and obviously we know he's playing on a bad leg, but you can't take those sacks. I'm going to actually pull out the offensive line a little bit on that and say, hey, you ran the football today with 120, 121 for Dickey and another 77 for Williams. Pre-snap penalties are maddening. Joey McGuire talked about it on the postgame. Still marginal. It's an average offensive line, which is a significant upgrade from what Tech's had, but they're still playing average. Old school Tech, man, Raider Power baby. Hum a few bars, maybe I know that song. Defense wins championships. I've been told that over the decades. And now Texas Tech fans are beginning to understand what that means. Chris jumps in on Facebook. That's Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. J-Rod for Heisman should be in the discussion. Now, we know a defensive player can't win it unless he plays receiver. So I'm saying next week against UCF in the home finale, if Texas Tech gets in the red zone, put Jacob Rodriguez at tight end and run a bootleg play action, leak him out to the right, and throw a touchdown pass to Rodriguez. And then magically, look how cool this shirt is, by the way. Snaps Clothing. Magically he's there. Have him return a kickoff. Why not? No, it's sad that you can be the best defensive player on one of the best teams in the country and nobody mentions your name. A mass failing on the part of my friends in the media, who many of which are stupid. They are. It's true. Let's see. Beverly, did you notice Baron limping? Did you? Yeah. It's obvious he's uncomfortable. And according to Holly Rowe on the ABC broadcast, as was passed on to me in the press box today, they says he's playing on a hairline fracture of the tibia. That ain't good. And you still got your backup quarterback hurt running him like a madman a couple of weeks ago. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on running quarterbacks. You guys know how I feel about that. Jeff gets in on that United Supermarkets chat line. Lubbock and Tech, a lead in the spotlight all week. Good job, everybody. I can't say enough about it. Where did I write it down? It says, crowd atmosphere, Lubbock wins. Huge win for Tech on a massive stage. From start to finish, the week was incredible. National media, talked to several of them today, raving about the experience in Lubbock. Just rave everything start to finish. None of it mattered. None of it would have mattered truly, though, if you didn't win the game. So, I mean, at the top of the pyramid, it's you won. You dominated. Your defense as good as anybody in the country. This is the best defense by far in the Big 12. I mean, what more do they have to prove doing what they've done this year defensively? They had one bad drive today. And by that, I think it's really hard to keep a good player by even the freshman, Blair Bachmeier, not Blair Brockmeyer. In my mind, he's always going to be, for the rest of the time, Blair Brockmeyer. Thought he was the son of Jim Brockmeyer, the longtime Kansas City Royals announcer, but that's not true. It's not true at all. You look at, they had 188 yards passing. 75 came on that drive in the fourth quarter there late when he goes 7 of 7, attacking a prevent defense with several backups out there. Other than that, nothing. And they had 67 yards rushing, and he was ineffective rushing. What more does this team need to do? Old Texas Tech man Jacob Rodriguez for Heisman. If you don't think so, you're nuts. You're dumb. I mean, he should be a candidate. Steven on our Twitter, and now our Twitter folks getting in at Ryan Hyatt Media. And we are a multi-platform network. By that, I mean we have the main site at theraiderland.com. Start your day there every day with our columns, and we archive everything. It's really fun. Then we're on YouTube, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media, Facebook Live. So subscribe to all three. All of our platforms are free. We never want you to miss anything. We do kind of different things on different ones. Like if you're not on Facebook, you might miss, or Twitter, you might miss our daily dose of West Texas we do most weeknights. I missed like 2 nights in the last 6 weeks. Sorry. I was busy one night. So check out all the platforms. Game day was great for Lubbock. Chances are got more social media pub in one day than the past 30 years. So Dan Wetzel retweeted a picture that somebody had, and a sign said what? The only place Cougars can score in Lubbock is Chances Are. Don't know who did the sign. Didn't see any of the signs. I walked by the area. I didn't go in, couldn't get into game day area, whatever. And we have a post on, if I know it's on our Facebook page, I don't know if we put it on Twitter, from the Raider Park parking garage that I took at about 9 o'clock this morning. And you can see that entire area. Go find the picture. I know it's on our Facebook page. We always called it Chances Is, by the way, not Chances Are, or Menopause Pond, depending on what time of day it was. Joe getting in on our Facebook page, not taking anything from a great win because BYU defense was good too, but the Tech receivers sure did drop some good passes. Darn right they did. They dropped 2 touchdown passes in the first half, and that brings us to the decision by Joey McGuire to go for the touchdown and what I thought might have been the knockout blow at that point, the way the defense was playing before half. And I'll go back to that, and I say I agree with that decision. And actually, the previous possession, where were we? The field goal. So the field goal before that gets you to 13. What was that? 8:35 in the third. So you had 3rd and goal at the 7, basically. No, you can still get a first down. Timeout. You take the timeout there. Coy Aiken drops one basically. PBU maybe, and you go for the Harrington field goal there. I actually at 13-0, 8:08 in the second was looking at it going, the way this defense is playing, and I'm thinking on 3rd down, it's 2 down territory. Let's go ahead and go. Let's see if we can get something going. Now you get the 27-yard field goal, and one of the reasons why I was thinking to go for it there, that you were going into that wind, and the wind was picking up out of the northeast, the cool fronts coming through, and I thought that's a crosswind right there. You don't know what's going to happen, but nails it, no problem. And then I had no problem at the half going in there and going for it right there. I had no problem with that. I liked it. 7s are better than 3s. And if you'd kicked a field goal there, it's still a 2-possession game. You're really not altering anything fundamentally going into the half by doing that. It's still a 2-possession game. But, yeah, there were a ton of drops. And has this receiving core just really compressed that the players they have confidence in on the offensive side of the receiving core have dropped down to about 4 guys? Aiken, Carter, Virgil, Douglas. Nobody else is getting out there. We've got all week to talk about the offense, and we'll wait until we get into the week about what this offense is now. Want to focus on other things tonight. Want to get all of your comments, your questions, and everything else. And I'm not going to stop you from talking about that tonight if you want to, I promise. Product placement, by the way, right there. A lot of drops. That's why we've talked all week ad nauseum. Establish the run the football. This team right now is better when they run the football. And look at what they did. They ran the football today, and they won 29-7. Sam gets in on Twitter X as the legendary Jackie Gleason said, "How sweet it is." That's how I'm feeling. How are you feeling, Tech fans? Savoring the moment? You should. My gosh, these are the good old days. I was talking to some younger members of the media pregame because I am the old guy now. Not as old as Don Williams. He's got me by 5 years. Not as old as John Harris. That's about it. Going back to the 80s. Those of us that are still around continuously. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I hope everybody is enjoying this, and I'm not saying it can't continue. I'm not saying it won't continue. But I have seen how fleeting sometimes moments like these are. And it's really hard even for the confluence of time and place to get two top 10 teams together and have a great moment with game day and everything in the nation looking on. It just doesn't happen every year. Maybe it will under Joey McGuire. Maybe it will. But, man, never wish away a moment like this. These are the good old days. And I hope you guys are enjoying. I know you are, but I hope you are. Steven on Twitter X, hope we have enough ice for Harrington's leg. Yeah, like a pitcher. He's going to be on a kick count. Lynn has an idea here, and I want to throw this out to you guys. What do you think about this idea from Lynn? Keep winning. You got to keep winning. Nothing is fundamentally changed. If you gack it up against UCF or against West Virginia, please, good weather, just fair weather for battle. Please, fair weather for battle that day. Nothing changes after today. You give away everything if you don't win the next two games. Sam, however, the penalties do concern me. What can be done to solve the problem? Draconian measures. The beatings will continue until morale improves. It's been lingering game after game. You had the false start to start the game, and I'm like, well, good, got that out of the way. There was a false start in the third when Hampton moved, and Baron Morton was actually mad at the crowd on that. They went penalty-free between that time. Then you had the idiotic penalty on Caleb Douglas. Can we talk about the last two drives, or the two drives where all you needed to do was run clock and they were suboptimal? Just brutal. The two drives before you close it out. You know? Just, what are you doing? You're not burning any time. A minute 24 on one time of possession. And then you come back and you got a 57-second time of possession on a minus 5-yard drive. But the penalties today, where are our penalty numbers? Where are our penalty numbers? Where are they not showing up for? Oh, there they are. You had 6 for 50. I think 3 pre-snap maybe, and I can't now. I'm blanking out on a couple of the others. Yeah, penalties. Never good. Linebackers absolutely killed it. Yes, they did. They killed the run game of one BYU. Lynn, 2-0 with game day in Raiderland. I say bring them back. Why not? Jim, I'm so tired of offense sucks guy, defense wins championship. I'm so tired of offense sucks guy, defense wins championship. I'm not quite sure, but I think you're in favor of defense winning championships here. I think that's what we're saying. Ryan gets in on Facebook. Barron needs to see the big picture and throw the ball away when it's not there. And I'm trying to cut him some slack because he's compromised physically. He was getting, the first 2 sacks for sure And 2 out of the first 3 were covered sacks. And you just got to get rid of it. You just throw it away. Now, coverage sack or not, you're still pressured. He's still moving, and he's compromised moving. I get that. So do we modify the offense going forward? They did. I think they ran him one time. I think they actually had him run what looked like one design run today. I'll have to go back and look at it. Maybe it wasn't even that. Maybe he called that on his own. Entirely possible. Jeff, not a fan of chanting overrated. Takes away from the win, and the BYU fans are great all week. Amen. Thank you. Hallelujah. Allowing me to go on a rant about idiotic people who chant overrated. All you are doing is demeaning what your team has just done. All you are doing when you chant overrated is, wow, we really didn't do a thing here. I don't know why anybody should be pleased with what we did. Oh, yeah, that team actually, they're not any good. BYU, they're good. And yes, to their fans, we can't have a rivalry with BYU because how can you hate these people? Horrible. Glad you guys are getting in on Raiderland Rewind, brought to you by and presented by Live Life Well Clinic of Lubbock, Texas, and Dr. John Skelton. Great Red Raider. You can give them a holler. You can go by their Facebook page. You can check out all they have to offer. They're going to make you feel better in so many different ways. So please check them out and tell them thanks for being a presenting sponsor. Gino reposting the stream. We thank you guys on Twitter, on X, on YouTube, everything else. When you share it, you repost it. Means so much. It really does. Robert Christopher getting in on Facebook. If a defensive player was made of cheese. Sorry, wrong show. Yes, J-Rod for Heisman. Andy, I love Holly Rowe. Holly Rowe, Andy, loves you. She's a nice person. Out there at Lady Raider practice this morning at 6 a.m. I mean, she's gutty. She's a cancer survivor, and she's just cool. I've only visited with her a handful of times over the years, and she always treated me like she actually thought she might know who I am, and she probably didn't, and was just incredibly nice. And always, want to talk about Lady Raider basketball and Coach Sharp. Sorry. By the way, here in West Texas, we still have gnats. That's right. It's 75 degrees today in November, and we've got gnats. Gino, didn't get the game up here, all radio, which is always on. Hey, gotta love it on radio. Hope it sounded as good on radio as it did in person and everything else. Jeff, on the red zone playbook, it needs to be burned and start over from scratch. Again, we'll have a lot of talk about the offense and the next 2 games and hopefully a Big 12 title game and then hopefully college football playoff about what it is, what it should be. Okay, so this is me in general in red zone offense. I want misdirection because I want to get flow moving. So I want a lot of pre-snap motion that does 2 things for me. It moves backers, it moves, and it shows me what the coverage is for the most part. So I want pre-snap motion. Then I want misdirection. I like counters. I like bootlegs. I like mesh routes. I want to create confusion in the smaller space that we have. Not opposed to running the ball, by the way. I don't mind running the ball. If I run the ball, I do like, and that was one thing. Zach Kitley last year really put in some cool red zone offense with kind of an inverted bone look out of the gun. And Mac Leftwich would do well to go to town on that because you've got 2 distinctly different running backs. Now, you don't have a quarterback who can run it right now, but that's okay. Because you know what you could do? You could bring Terrence Carter into the backfield. Yeah. You could go to a full house backfield, and we could run the crazy option. Fade routes do nothing for me. It's a 50-50 ball every time. Hey, but what do I know? I'm only I was a 500 coach. What do I know? 500 coach. Didn't have a losing season. Didn't have a winning season. 500 season. Stephen, our win-loss record tells us we are good, but our ATS record tells us we just may be great. What is Tech this year? ATS 8-1, 9-1. Is it 9-1 now? That's silly. And today, I am texting very smart people. And I'm going, what am I missing here? Public had been on it. Sharps obviously had been holding up Tech when you're looking at the percentage of bets on Tech, but the money and everything else, and it's going 11, 11 and a half, 12 and a half, 13 and a half. I'm like, is like Morton hurt? Do we not know something about BYU? And it's just the confidence in the marketplace of Texas Tech to do what they did today. We're talking about sports betting here. The marketplace is incredibly confident that the Texas Tech defense is elite, that they will grind down the opponents, and that they will cover the number in the second half as the game goes on, as the day goes on. They're incredibly confident that Texas Tech is going to grind down the opposition and cover the number. And we saw that at Kansas State, great example of that. They also think that this Texas Tech defense is going to score. And that's a huge game changer, that it's really hard to bake that into a line, that you sit there and go, there's going to be a defense or a special team score on a team. And we're talking about sports betting right now, not just actual in-the-game stuff. But it's good in the game, too, to get that. So what did we see today? We didn't see the score, but you saw the interception lead to the field goal, and then the fumble recovery, not the fumble recovery, the backwards pass recovery by Rodriguez, and that they turn these turnovers into short field points. I thought I heard the stat on radio. I'm going to butcher it, but it's like a huge propensity of the turnovers Texas Tech has forced has immediately turned into points on the other side. Huh. That's good. Gary gets in on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. The good news is this team can play much better. Joey McGuire quote, we got to get out of our own way. We can't get out of our own way. It shouldn't have been close. That's like 3 times I've heard him say that. And he's not being mean to the opposing team. This is post-game Tech radio, credit Chris Level. You talk about got to get out of their own. He had to take time out because the offensive line, they didn't have enough people on the line, can't get out of our own way. He's not a fan right now, I can tell, of this offensive line play, pre-snap and otherwise. He's put out with it. But he's nice about it. Shouldn't have been close. It shouldn't have been close. Dylan gets in on YouTube. Thank you for bringing this up again. Elite tackling, elite focus. The team handled the distractions all week. Fantastic. The tackling, this is the best Texas Tech tackling team I've seen since maybe the Zach Thomas era. They were pretty good at tackling, Who was the defense coordinator there for Spike there, who came from Baylor? Sorry, John Goodner. Things kind of changed at Baylor. He became a graduate assistant at like 45 years old or something like that. Seemed really old to me at the time, maybe 50. Then he was your defense coordinator. And that Zach Thomas, Marcus Coleman, that little era right through there, 93 to 95, I would say, 96. Really good tackling team. This one's better. The one-on-one tackling, particularly on the edge. Your quarterbacks, your DBs, Curry, your linebackers, but your edge guys that end up in these one-on-one situations. I have not seen a better tackling team at Texas Tech ever. Lynn, exhausted, tired, lost my voice. We'll see how long I can go with my voice tonight. Tessa gets in. Nice last name. Nice shirt. Thank you very much. Look at this. Snaps Clothing. These are Pearl Snap shirts. These are rugged, yet amazingly comfortable. I mean, I got this right out of the box. Threw it on. I feel like I've been wearing it for years. It's great. And I don't even like to wear white. I really don't. But it's so good, and Tech wore white today, I thought I'd throw it on. Snaps Clothing, check it out. They're rugged. They're cool. You can wear it to work. You can wear it to the game. You can wear it fishing, whatever you want to do. Jan, enjoying the moment, but hold my breath when offense gets the ball. Still need to step it up in the red zone and just running clock. Yeah, the possessions in the fourth quarter were just suboptimal, brutal possessions. You can't not run clock in those situations. You can't get a Caleb Douglas roughing, an unnecessary roughness penalty. You can't do that. You've got to be smarter. Got to be smarter. Got to be better. Ryan says Tech needs to throttle UCF, get Barron out early, give him 2 weeks to rest before West Virginia. You're ahead of the script on what we're going to talk about this week, but yeah, that's exactly what needs to happen for a lot of different reasons. And also, I think we said Thursday and Friday on the daily broadcast. We come to you live every night, 6:30 Central. That this was the one game this year that you weren't going to hear me talk about style points, anything else. You just needed to win. Yet you still got style points today. The defense gave you style points. The nation saw a suffocating defense in front of a great crowd. As old Spike Dykes used to say, my gosh, they were livid. They were just livid out there. So you actually got style points. Not in a 56-0 deal, but just in a dominant defense, and your best player made huge plays, and Rodriguez and all that cool stuff. Next week, you kind of do need style points again because we're getting back into some teams you need to beat. You're going to be favored. You're favored today. And part of the goal is still to get into the top 4 in the college football playoff rankings. But the most important thing, I agree with you there, Ryan, get the lead early. And I don't know where we'll talk about it more. If I'm up 3 scores, Barron's out. If the game is within 2 scores, depending on the time he's back in. I will say that right there. I understand. I agree with what you're saying there. Dylan, overrated chant is the students, always has been. Yeah, but I see adults do it too, and they're stupid. And if you see someone saying overrated and doing that, tell them, hey, you're stupid. Don't be stupid. We're charged as great people by God to go help our fellow man, not be stupid. Joe, agree. I don't like the overrated chance. Got to be better than that. Yeah, just got to be smarter. Just dumb. CJ on Facebook, I like how BYU helped their guys up from the field. They're good. That's why they cannot possibly be a rival for Texas Tech, because you just can't even – it's hard to generate sports hate for BYU. Only Utah and BYU can be rivals and hate each other. It's an internecine, doctrinal fight, really, is what we got going on. Theological, damn near. Robert, why no big boy run package at the goal line, especially with a gimpy quarterback, J-Rod? His former quarterback, is he not? They do have a package where they bring Carter in, but, if you're talking about just, bringing in an offensive lineman or, hadn't seen a whole lot of that, just hadn't seen a lot of power. Hadn't seen the offensive line do what the offensive line needs to do. How are we doing here on the beverage? We're all right there. We're doing all right. You guys getting in on the United Supermarkets chat line? Heck, you got time today to go fuel up for tomorrow. Everybody can take a deep breath. Most of the early NFL games kind of stink, and then the afternoon games are a little bit better. Cowboys are off. So you kind of breathe a little bit going into the afternoon, which means I got to get all the Christmas decorations out of our storage box car and do that before my wife gets home. Yay morning. But my son's going to be around, and he's going to be helping, and he doesn't even know it yet. Allen, that was the best defensive performance I've ever seen in person by Texas Tech. And I know you've gone to a lot of games, and you did a great breakdown Thursday night with us on this game. And I will tell you, against a really good football team, which BYU is, a physical offensive line, a dangerous quarterback, a good running back. I mean, he was only leading the conference coming in. So, LJ Morton, and I'm going to assume he was healthy. Are we going to find out like after the Utah game? Oh, yeah, he was playing on an amputated leg. They pulled the sock over his metal leg that he had there. I don't think so. That high leverage game, high leverage stakes. If you can find me a more definitive defensive performance, God, I would have loved to have gotten them the shutout. That would have been so cool. One freaking drive, 7 of 7 by Bachmeier, 75 yards, all the yards on that drive. And it's backups in. I get it. You're trying to make them make plays, and a good quarterback made some plays. They're still a freaking good team. You can see them again in Arlington. But to go back in those moments and find a defensive game Show it to me, right? 89, your Texas and your A&M wins that year in the 89 season when you went 9-3 and went to the All-American Bowl and beat Duke. That was pretty. It was the offense with Jamie Gill on 3rd and 26, making some plays. Defense was okay, but not suffocating. Early 80s with Gabe Rivera, late 70s, great defensive games, and you couldn't score a lick. We could talk about the game he played against Washington. Texas Tech played USC in was it a 13-7 game, I think, one year, something like that in 79. 78, have to go back and look. And then maybe you could go back to the 73 season. I think Tech beat Texas 24-3 or something like that. Where's Don Williams when we need him? What do you want to go back to? Arkansas 66. You get the idea. Texas in 67 on the road. I don't think Alan Corbin was at any of those games. Both BYU and Texas Tech offensive play calling were puzzling. We've talked about Texas Tech a lot. I'll agree with the BYU, and I haven't watched them enough this year. You've watched them a lot more than I have, Alan. I never got a feel that they felt like they were establishing anything, and I don't know what it was that they were trying to establish. It seemed like they gave up on any idea of running Bachmeier fairly early on. I thought they had a really good concept in their first 2 drives. Misdirection, pre-snap motion. You were bringing guys one way, and you kind of had this inside hand sweep look, and then you could kind of flip it and do whatever. I thought, okay, they're trying to run away from the interior. They want linebackers moving and create a little confusion, and they're going to put pressure on the edge with the cornerbacks, and they were driving downfield, trying to move you off that. But then that kind of disappeared, even though they were moving the ball a little bit. Then they went away from that. And then they kind of got into this short passing game. And I think really this is another example of Sheil Wood dictating to the offense more than the offense dictating to him. And that teams become so responsive to what the Tech defense is doing that maybe they get away from what they think they're going to be good at. But the Tech defense dictates so much. And then when you give Tech defense a 10-point lead, that's like any other defense having a 21-point lead. And we saw it with Kansas State. We've seen it before that they don't handle it. Dylan, what was the last season you can remember where our offense was the weaker link? 1999. 2000 a little bit. Tech defense had like 3 shutouts in 2000. Greg McMackin comes in, zone blitz, which was still fairly new back then at the college level. He'd coached it in the pros and then brought it down there to the college level. And Tech shut out about 3 opponents in 2000. And you were, getting bailed out by the defense and barely beaten New Mexico in 2000. I'd say 2000 was the last time that the defense was probably equal to or better than the offense in that transition year. And certainly 96, 97 was painful at times offensively. And we shall not talk about 1999 and what happened in Austin. Stephen, want to be a 5 seed to be at home, but with Morton's ankle, fewer games may be better. Good old day problems. Yeah, I get what you're saying, because we can have that conversation now. Would you rather have the bye, or would you rather host a college football playoff game in Jone Stadium as a 5 seed? Would you rather? Jan gets in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Great sponsors of us here in Raiderland, along with Hat Creek Interiors. We're in the Hat Creek Interiors studios, perfecting the lost art of customer service. Our friends there, Corey Flanagan at Hat Creek. Jan was there at 5 a.m. It was crazy, great atmosphere. And Spike used to say, we need to quit shooting ourselves in the foot. As Joey McGuire says 30 years later, we can't get out of our own way. I was really trying to figure out, okay, so media parking it is in the Raider Park parking garage. Thank you, Texas Tech, for allowing us to do that. We appreciate that. And any media people that complain about parking or anything, you guys are idiots. And you got a great food spread up there. Hat tip to the egg rolls out this morning. Cheese curds and egg rolls and sausage and all sorts of stuff. Egg rolls with a spicy chipotle little dressing. That was really good. Had no idea. So Jane, you got out there at 5. I talked to David Collier, came out at 28, Raider Nation. He does the scores there at the stadium. I'm like, dude, what's that parking garage going to be like? Should I get out there like 7? Or, so what I decided, and I thought I'd screwed up, is I was going to wait because I figured a lot of people would go out there really early for the start of game day. And I was going to try to time it and get there at about 8:45 or 9. And I mean, I hit it perfect. It was better than most parking days for me on a regular game because everybody kind of got in there early or was coming in a little later. And I mean, I zipped in there. Pro tip, by the way, if you're trying to get to the parking garage, go past the university. Don't try. Go to Q, loop back around, come up through 4th Street, and then hit the parking garage. I was shocked. It took me like 10 minutes to park, which is nothing. Yeah. The crowd, I've got the crowd shot on our Facebook page, and I think our Twitter X feed at Ryan Hyatt Media from basically 9 o'clock in the morning, and just the sea of humanity. By gosh, it looks like Triumph playing at the US Festival in 1982 or whatever. It's beautiful. Alan, BYU crossed the Tech 30 only one time today. That was on that 75-yard drive where Bachmeier goes 7 of 7, 75 yards. They crossed the 30 once. Hey, we're going to go as long as you guys want to go tonight. I know this is it's an important day. It is, it's the biggest win in 50 years. The most important win in 50 years because of what it sets up, what it did, and what you're doing. It's more important than any game you've won, including Texas in 08. And if somebody disagrees, if somebody, wants to say that was bigger, I'll explain to you. I've already done it several times this week on the daily broadcast, but I have no problem going back and explaining why this is bigger. Now, not bad or disagree. I'm just saying why. Let's keep rolling on that United Supermarkets chat line. Kind of running low here. We may have to refresh. Mike on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, free. We want 700 subscribers by tonight. Receivers need to practice 200 catches a day forever. Didn't Leach have them catch tennis balls? Yeah, they use tennis balls out of a little, tennis ball gun type deal. Now they use a jugs gun, or not a jugs gun, but a, like in baseball, where they do the pop flies and stuff, and they just fire that thing at them is what they use right now. Yeah, too many drops. Critical drops, touchdown drops. I don't know. What do you make them carry around a football? Oh, no, that's for fumbling. What if you just beat them? That is a good code red. What if you just beat the hell out of the receivers? Like for every drop, you get beat for a minute. The defense gets to beat you. No, I'm just kidding, sort of, not really. Law Dog Sports. Hey, man. Great performance, Reckham. Yeah, we were on with Law Dog Sports yesterday. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. They cover Oklahoma, primarily Oklahoma State, and good people. And yes, no sun glare in my face. So we learned with the time change, I'm normally not on at 9 o'clock in the morning Central Time, that there is an incredible glare that occurs at about 9:05 in my office through a window that never has any sun in it when I'm on. But now, the more you know. Hey, this one makes me smile right here. This is cool. LaPrice, good to see you. Hello, my friend. Are you in the islands? Where are you today? She was a proud Coronado Mustang, Coronado cheerleader from back in the day, Mustang effort. It's really, it really warms my heart to see your face pop up on my screen anytime it does. I hope things are going well. I hope you guys got a chance to see the game and everything else. So that's really neat, man. That is really cool. Let's go Mustang effort. Not a good year in football. Maybe basketball will be better for the Mustangs. I think they won one game this year, maybe, or something, and got beat by Lubbock High yesterday. We don't want to talk about that. We'll talk about anything else except for that. Basketball will be better. I have no doubt. All right, you guys get on the United Supermarkets chat line. We'll go as long as the comments are coming in. We've given you our thoughts on this game. You guys kind of know from the rundown what I'm thinking. Where are you tonight? What are you doing? Do we got anybody still out there tailgating that is watching the show. But your questions, your comments, I think I've hit on pretty much everything that I wanted to hit on. And then we'll have plenty of time this week to discuss what's going on. But get on the United Supermarket chat line and then share this with your friends. LaPrice again in Houston, working in Germany now for German gymnastics. Game was awesome. Wow, Germany. That's sort of like being in Central Texas, right? That's like being in the Hill Country. It's like teaching gymnastics in Fredericksburg, but with real German food and 9-pin kegling and everything else that they do. That is really cool. Good on you. That's great. Yeah, the Hill Country is about as close as I'm going to get to Germany, I think, anytime soon. This is where I have to go back. This is a good comment coming up. And look at any of the side notes that I make during the game. See, I do actually make notes and stuff during the game. Oh, this didn't end up mattering, right? This did not matter in the game, but this really PO'd me. So when Texas Tech goes up 10-9, there was 19 seconds left in the quarter. 12-play, 92-yard, 501 drive. Drive of the day for the offense. Really looked good. And what did they do? Virgil +6, Dickey +6 running to Virgil +9, Dickey 2, Dickey 4. Quarterback run right -1. What are we doing? Mac Leftwich running a quarterback with one leg. Then Aiken for the 37-yard pass. Dickey, 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 and then the fade route to Caleb Douglas that they ended up reviewing. And it looked like it was great, but here's what PO'd me about that moment. Texas Tech went out for the extra point in a double swinging gate formation. We used to call it the sliding door. It's not like middle and then everybody on one side. It's middle and then 3-3 split, 3-3 split, 3 split, middle, where you got different options. And it turned into a de facto timeout for BYU to see the formation, everybody to see the formation on the extra point. And it burned the play. That while they're doing the useless review, that it was obvious that he'd caught it in bounds, it burned the play. And Texas Tech showed something in that moment that's now on film that they didn't even get to run. Now, it would have been on film anyways if they'd run it. I get that. I understand that. But they didn't even get to run it. That made me mad. It really made me mad. Let's see, Mike on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, any commitments today? Not that we're aware of, which would be odd for a Texas Tech game and a win to not get like a 5-star. And I guess Tech maybe is still signing 4-star players. Are they still doing that now? Is James Blanchard like looking at 4 stars going, well, I mean, if some of these guys don't make it, maybe we'll take the 4-star. I mean, within, gosh, what, 12 months, 36 maybe? Do we go back to the Micah Hudson start of the elevated recruiting? Is that really the start of it? Yeah. Now he's just, it's 5-star. Just another 5-star. Joe, going to get more beer while listening. You know, that's a tremendous idea. Hold on. They're not paying me any money, so I'm not going to show you what this might be or might not be, but we're going to. There we go. That'll work. That ought to get us through the rest of the broadcast. Cheers to you. Hold on. As I hang out in my Snaps Clothing Pearl Snap shirt, the Texas Tech Tailgate Collection at Snaps Clothing. We got to keep these guys around. Good stuff. Yeah, what beer? What beer are you getting there? Give them a free plug on your beer, whatever it is. Cold, that would be mine. And I was reminded today. So in 2008, game day, all that stuff, didn't get to go to the game day stuff because I had radio obligations before. And then I was doing the post-game call-in show for Tech Radio back in 2008. So, you know, I have to leave and barely see any of the end of the game. Barely. I mean, literally Crabtree catch and then everything else after that. I've got to get to the station. Everybody's still out there. I get a call at the station. A buddy of mine, hey, we're still out here, man. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, probably, at least. So I drive back down there from KFYO Studios, and sure enough, there's people still out there beginning to winnow down. And I hang out there because now, I'm the sober guy who's been working and everything, and everybody else is like, "Oh, we got to go, man." And I ended up getting a Weber grill, like a charcoal grill, the black Weber grill. Somebody had just abandoned it in place there in the west lot. I'm getting ready to leave. I'm like, I'm taking that. This probably exceeded that moment of me getting a free grill. Joe, let's see, what's he getting? Modelo. Here's Modelo, by the way, jumping in, taking over when Bud Light gacked everything up a couple of years ago, and just Modelo now just jumping in. The Negro Modelo is one of my favorite beers, along with Pacifico, if I'm having enchiladas or something heavy on the Mexican food side. But they really just jumped in now. It's an everyday drinking beer. Good call, man. Ain't going cheap either. Wow. Obviously not hanging out with my friends. They'd be doing like Natty Ice Light or something like that. Raymond gets in our YouTube channel. Want 700 subscribers. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Great win and still so much to work on to improve. I don't think the team has peaked. Reckham. Great comment. Great point. Joey McGuire agrees. Shouldn't have been close, he said on the postgame radio. And you are so true. Now the question becomes, with a injured Baron Morton, a compromised Baron Morton, that you can't just go, oh, if anything happens, we'll just throw Will Hammond out there. No, you already got him hurt. And I know Griffiths is a great third-team quarterback. I don't want to test the theory of him becoming an American football legend, leading a team to the college football promised land as a third-team quarterback who the year before was pouring concrete. I'm not ready for that story just yet. But yes, this team has not peaked in my opinion. I believe this offensive line can play better. I believe it can perform better. They've got 2 games where they'll be, if not heavily favored. They got 2 more games to define this offense. It's weird to say you are the 8th-ranked team and about to be the 7th-ranked team in the country, at least, that you're still defining the offense. But that's where we are. That's fascinating to me. Now my nose is itching. We reach a certain point, by the way, on Raiderland Rewind at my age, and some of you guys will understand this. The duration of the show will depend on how much beverage we have left and desire to go to the restroom. That's really what it boils down to. JC Double T. Good name, too, on YouTube. Pass blocking. Confusing blocking scheme. How can one blitz right where center or guard's supposed to be? If a dude not coming at you, don't chase. He's not headed to the quarterback. The next guy is big linebacker. So we get into the idea of pass pro concepts and what Leftwich and McGuire are trying to do and what they're not trying to do. And, BYU blitzed you pretty good. But again, I thought a lot of it was the coverage downfield and Morton's inability to get rid of the football in a timely manner. And he's a gamer. He didn't want to give up on a play. I'm not trying to bail out the offensive line completely today. I mean, you had, 4 sacks for minus 46 yards. BYU sacked you 4 times, minus 46 yards. And you still ran the ball for 149 yards today. Imagine if you had the sacks. That's why you had 121 for Dickey, 77 there for Williams. Quarterbacks got to get rid of the ball. I've been more disappointed at times in some of the run block, and that this team just hasn't looked as physical up front as I thought they would be. Well, Hyatt, how can you say that? Look at the year Dickey's having. Look at it. Just a lot of it is yardage after contact. That these running backs are just so good, they're making it happen. I agree. It is a very nice shirt. Snaps Clothing, snapsclothing.com. If you want the new look, they are taking Pearl Snap shirts where Pearl Snap shirts have never been. And I'm along for the ride, baby. So they've still got things to get right with this offensive line, to be sure. 9-1, first time since 2009. Texas Tech has won 9 games in the regular season. You're looking at a chance to make history, obviously, over the next 2 weeks, getting into that 10-11 realm, and then with a possible Big 12 title game, if you can keep your sheet clean between now and then and see what it looks like. And speaking of things, see what it looks like. When we get together again on Monday, we are going to be talking a lot about the offense, a lot about Baron Morton, his health. Holly Rowe reporting on the ABC broadcast. He's playing with a hairline, pardon me, I believe I was told. I did not hear it live. So if I am wrong, I am quoting another member of the media who I implicitly trust, who said that the report was a hairline fracture of the tibia. Makes sense with what we've seen. Makes sense. But where that's going to leave this offense going forward and what it's going to look like. As good a defense as I've seen since I got a media credential in 1989, as important a win as I've seen in the last 50 years for Texas Tech, but it only matters if you win the next 2 games, if you want to sound like a coach. Men, what we did today was great. Enjoy it for the next few hours. And remember, if you give it away next week, it's just a footnote in history on how fun it was that day when you beat BYU, and then you absolutely shit the bed against Central Florida. Now go have a good night and stay out of jail. Something like that. And then Stone Cold Harrington. Why didn't anybody call him Stone Cold Harrington? Why isn't anybody calling him Stone Cold? You can even get the Rainbow song, Stone Cold. You can get the wrestler, Stone Cold, Steve. I mean, why is he not Stone Cold now? I assume he's going to be the special teams player of the week for the Big 12. Biggest game, biggest moment, 5 field goals. Why not? You can do that. And then surely Jacob Rodriguez will begin to get some just tertiary mention for the Heisman Trophy. A little bit. Somebody, like, I know 2 Heisman Trophy voters, and I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you, but I'm willing to bet, I know one of them always tries to get a defensive player in the top 5, let alone top 3. And I think the other one would be very sympathetic to the idea. But why aren't there more? There should be more voters like that. All right, your last chance. Get on the United Supermarkets chat line if you got any more thoughts on the broadcast today. Here on Raiderland Rewind, coming to you from the Hat Creek Interior Studios, 10101 South Slide Road. Their showroom's amazing, and you can go online, hatcreek.us. See what they've got to offer. They ship anywhere. And, of course, their great Facebook pages, just like them. And, of course, the Live Life Well Clinic, headed up by Dr. John Skelton in Lubbock, proud presenting sponsor of Raiderland Rewind. They also have a great Facebook page. The Power of 5. If 5 of you people who enjoy what we do want to thank our sponsors every broadcast, that's great. Go to their Facebook pages and tell them thanks for being a part of Raiderland. Share it on Twitter. Do anything you want, Do anything you want. Let's see. Jimbo's sister-in-law sent me the Black Pearl snap today for my birthday. Great shirt. Very cool. Good job, sister-in-law, with the Snaps clothing, Pearl Snap shirt. I've got the black one, and I really thought I was going to give these shirts away. I was going to wear them on the broadcast, and then I was going to give them away. I ain't giving them away. Y'all going to have to send me some more shirts if I want to give them away. And then 99, Hodges played one leg all season. Actually, Hodges had a bad shoulder. B.J. Simmons, who was indicted into the Hall of Honor or Hall of Fame this weekend, along with Ryan Aycock and a slew of other Texas Tech players. B.J. Simmons played about a half a season on a torn ACL bad leg after a celebration gone awry against Iowa State. And Mahomes won a Super Bowl on one leg. There's a funny joke in there. I'm just not going to do it. TCU. Texas Tech off of YouTube should be in the college football playoff now. Can the Big 12 sneak in 1 or 2 more? I think the Big 12 gets in 2. I know who you meant. I think the Big 12 gets in 2 right now to break right. It's Utah and it's BYU and Tech. So to break right, I think you'd have to have Texas Tech go to the Big 12 title game to get in more than 2. Lose to either BYU or Utah, and now some of this thing gets convoluted on the tie breaks. And we've obviously got Cincinnati and BYU coming up. That kind of like an elimination game, obviously, for Arlington. I've paid so much attention this last week to the Tech tiebreakers and control your own destiny type stuff that I haven't looked at the potential breakout on that. I would say 2 teams, yeah. 3 teams, unlikely. That's awesome. My sister-in-law sends me headaches. JC Double T. West Virginia not built for bad weather. You're thinking 20 years ago, 3 inches of snow, 34 degrees. Perfect for Tech. I know, but here's the deal. Weather can be a wild card that compresses talent differences. It makes the fast team slower, and the slow team was already slow. It makes that oblong football do weird things when it bounces and moves around, and I don't want that. I want it played straight up, talent on talent, good on good. I don't want to see anything weird on the weather front because it compresses a talent advantage. It just does. There's no way about it. Now, is Texas Tech built to handle it better now as a defense-first team? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely better than that. But it's still goofy happens when you play in weird weather. And I don't want that. Can't control it, can't do a damn thing about it. Just don't want it to be a part of the equation. Control what you can control. But I agree with what you're saying, JC, that this team, of all the teams in the last 25 years, is certainly better created and crafted to be able to go into a horrible weather day and grind it out and beat a team, whatever you got to do to beat a team that day. Because it'll be Stone Cold Harrington, 17 field goals, leg falls off, they put it on ice. It's already on ice. Doesn't matter. Hey, you guys were fantastic today. We appreciate it. I'm going to ask you one more time. Go thank our great sponsors. Hat Creek Interiors, Live Life Well Clinic, presenting sponsor, United Supermarkets, Market Street, and, of course, our new friends at Snap Clothing and snapclothing.com. Really cool Pearl Snap shirts. And you guys know I love the Pearl Snap shirts. So hopefully you're going to be hearing more from them here in Raiderland in the coming days and weeks. What a great day. What a great week. What a great moment in time for Texas Tech fans to savor, to enjoy, to be in the moment. And the players expressing it after the game and talking great about the fan and everything and the home field advantage, all of these things that you're getting to experience right now. Don't wish it away. Don't speed it away. Don't look ahead. Man, just savor this moment. Absolutely freaking enjoy it. Try to remember everything about the day. And I hope days like this repeat and keep happening. You know? I hope this is the beginning of an era where every year you're playing a game like this, or games. Can happen. But just, for the younger ones out there, dude, hey man, it can disappear too real quick. So never wish it away. I know firsthand on many different aspects in my sports life about that, professionally and otherwise. So enjoy this freaking day. Share this. Invite people in. We're going to put this on the website here in just a little bit at theraiderland.com. Tomorrow morning, 5, not 3. That would be right out. And not 6. That would be 1 too many. 5 things we know on a Sunday. Our Sunday column, which doesn't have anything to do typically with sports. So we have a lot of fun doing that. So be sure and check it out. But, hey, share this. Put it out there. Get all your friends involved. Invite them into Raiderland. Subscribe to all of our platforms on YouTube, Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media, and Raiderland for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. TheRaiderland.com. I'm Ryan Hyatt. We had a blast. We'll see you in the morning with 5 things we know on a Sunday right there on the site, TheRaiderland.com.